Cute.
I think I have barbecue sauce on my titty.
I think you need to move it up.
Hold on, is that barbecue sauce on my titty? What is that? What is that? What is that? Son of a... Hi, everyone. Hi. We've missed you. Hi, uncles and aunts, cousins, friends, family, children's. Yeah, my titties is big.
Hi, guys.
I need a bigger shirt. What are you doing?
Push it this way.
You want to push it real good? What?
We're gonna salt and pepper that. Let's go.
Salt and pepper. You're my angel. Jeff Cato, just read your text. Love you, buddy.
No, I mean push the whole computer up.
Oh, I'm like, what do you want me to do?
What the hell is he doing?
I don't know. It feels like Three Stooges right about now.
No, only because I'm like, oh my god, I feel like we're like 8 feet away.
We are.
There we go.
Please send Bob's.
It's just a shirt. My breasts are not this big.
Bob's. Who's Bob? About this sea, don't listen to what... Hey, everybody jumping in. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho's. I haven't talked to Brady in a long time. Steve, John G went to high school together. About to do this show. The show is called Too Old to Crush. My head's missing. Hold on. Why are you so high?
I don't know.
Are you sitting on phone books?
No, I'm sitting on this. Just push it back then.
What's this? Your hiney?
The stool.
Oh. Is there a pillow under there?
No.
Why are you so high?
I don't know.
God. I wish I was that high.
No.
Hi, Lily.
Lils!
Lily, you should just come over.
I took it out. You'll see it tomorrow.
Lily, just come over and do a show with us. It'll be really good. Can you turn off John B, please, before you end up falling in love with somebody?
Larissa!
Yeah, you don't know her.
I don't, but she looks familiar. That felt good to shout out somebody I did not know.
That's so funny.
Hey, Larissa, girl.
Who's the young lady? Since I'm planning on watching more, I need to know the basics. So, wow, Phyllis. Okay, so this is my wife. Just kidding. Not. No, this is Ashley. We went to school together, not grad school, or not undergrad, but grad school together. She's graduated already because she started before I did. And, yeah, so she's my co-host. That's it.
Hi.
We're just friends.
Ew, no.
Hi, Carrie.
No.
Johnson. Paulson. We have the same last name. Johnman.
Johnman.
Hi. Anyway, all right, y'all ready? We finna do this. First of all, the McRib is shit. And I wish you would have told me not to eat it. I was gonna eat it in the car on the way here, but I decided I didn't want to spill on myself. But I didn't, and I waited, and it was cold, and it was disgusting. And I thought I should get a McRib on the way back home. And I thought, you know what? It's not gonna change anything. It still sucks.
First of all, I didn't know you had a McRib.
Yeah, well, I was on the phone with Paul. It's your fault.
Shouldn't have been.
I know I shouldn't have, but it was good. It was good. Well, it was hopefully going to be good. I didn't remember how bad they were. They're just not good. They're just not good. Have you ever had a McRib?
No.
You never eat at McDonald's?
I don't particularly like McDonald's.
Ever?
I would only go there for chicken nuggets.
Or a drink for $1?
I don't just
Drinks
go there
are
for
$1.
drinks, even though they do
Drinks,
are $1. I don't know why I don't go there, actually.
They are $1.
Leos! Ha ha ha, hi y'all.
Carrie, you never drove me nuts.
She said I went to the same school with them. Yes, Lily went to the same school, Hope International University.
Yes. HIU, and I'm graduating in like a month.
He's graduating. He's graduating.
Finally. And not everyone's coming to my party. Lily, you can come if you want to. Send me a message if you really want to, for real. I'll send you an invite. Anyway, alright, so the McRib is shit, and we're going to move on. Also, speaking of shit, the Justice League movie is also shit. I
didn't see it.
Watching it last, what was it, Friday? Was I by myself? No, I took one of my kids to go see Justice League, and I fell asleep. People are like, man, you be falling asleep all the time. I said, I know. But I don't fall asleep when I'm not super bored. And I was super bored. So I did fall asleep. That make sense?
Lily said congrats.
Thank you, Lily. Send you a message. There was no character development. You have Batman, Wonder Woman, as two characters you already know about because they've already had movies about them, so you've at least had a prequel for them individually. And everyone knows about Batman anyway, right? Then you got Underwater guy. What's his name? Aquaman.
Underwater guy.
Then you got Swimmer Man. Then you got Cyborg.
They made like 96 million mils?
Yes, because everyone wanted to go see it, and then they realized they're not going to make that much this next week, and I guarantee you that.
Lils, please tell us how you felt about it, because I know you had a few things that you wanted to say about it as well, but keep going, Kingdom.
Yeah. So, Underwater guy, no backstory. Cyborg, no backstory. Flash, no backstory. There have been several Flashes before. There's Wally West, there's Barry Allen. Aquaman, I think there's only been a couple Aquaman because, generations, so things happen or whatever. And then, who was the other one I mentioned? Oh, Cyborg. You have no idea about why Cyborg was created and how he became to be. I didn't get that until I watched the Cinema Gulp review on YouTube.
Shout out to Cinema Gulp again.
And I didn't know how Cyborg became Cyborg until I watched their review because even as much of a fan of DC stuff as I am, I had no idea. And I'm like, oh, that's how it happened. So I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but, basically, fuck it, I don't want to ruin it for you. Because it's not in the movie anyway, so you need to know. So Cyborg was like I think like a high school or college athlete, and he really got into like a really bad accident, like broke his leg, broke like a lot of whatever. And his dad, who was like a robotics engineer, rebuilt him and made him into the cyborg that he became.
Okay.
So he's like faster, stronger, whatever. So yeah, there's like no backstory, and no character development, which makes it hard for the story to develop, in my opinion. And then when you have the bad guy, Steppenwolf, you're like, why is he there? What's his role? Where does he come from? What's his story? Like, there's nothing. And I compared it with the kid, because he liked the movie, and that's fine. But I was like, look, there's no character development for these three characters, 4 if you include the villain, right? And then, so if there's no character development, and you don't know what the hell that they're searching for these little Rubik's Cube things. But you're like, what significance does that have? I have no idea what the hell's happening. So I was like, you know what? He woke me up. I was like, oh, it's still on? And I was out again. I was done. I was done. I might try to watch it again, but I don't really feel like it's going to be worth it. Even though I have a movie pass, which is now for $6.50 a month for a limited time. I don't know if it's going to be $6.50 for a limited time, or the offer is for a limited time, meaning they're only going to offer it for a little bit and then it's going to go back to $10. Or if you get the offer and have it for the rest of your life at $6.50 per month, or $6.50 and then after a couple months it goes back to $10. Like introductory offers or stuff like that.
$6.50, or we're talking
per month, yes.
Okay, I'm like $6.
Yeah, it's $6.50, and if you keep it for a couple months, totally worth it. Unbelievable. But anyway, yeah, shit movie. I probably will not see it again, even though I feel like I should. But it was pretty bad, and you haven't seen it?
I have not. That's why I was waiting for Lily to comment on it, because Lily, and hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn, but I know Lily.
Hi, Doris.
You mentioned that when I asked you, I said, hey, Lils, I was like, how was the movie? You were like, well, and that was a clear indicator that it was not amazing, because usually people come out and say, oh my gosh, it's amazing. But you said,
hi, Maddie.
Well, it was, you were like, it was good, but it didn't give me the Marvel's feel.
Yep. You know why? Because there was no backstory.
Bingo. So that was my question when I was talking to Kingman here. I said, well, what made it so mediocre? What made it to the point where there were 2 directors. I think one of them had to take a break to go do something. I don't know, family related or whatever. So where he left off, the other one came in and they had to reshoot stuff. And it was just like, I don't know. Was it because they had 2 different visions? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you work with 2 different directors, things are different because you have a different mindset on what you want and what you don't want.
But I'll tell you what could have been consistent is, how about a backstory? Yep, I agree.
She said, I'm typing. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I agree. Okay, sorry. But yeah, you're right, because they all have okay, well, this is the way I want the vision to come out, or this is the way I think, the rest of the audience is going to see it. And I think that's the problem, because I think when you're thinking about your own vision, sometimes you skip out on how other people are going to watch your movie.
Right.
And it's like, what makes Marvel so good?
backstories and production is consistent.
Yep. Storyline, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It draws you in and makes you say, okay, I want to know about this person. Even if a person showed up one time in the movie. Let's talk about when Black Panther showed up. The one time. And what was the movie?
I don't know. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in
Oh my god, it was the one.
years.
It was like Captain America and like the Iron Man fight. I forgot what it was. You remember the movie because that was the movie that Captain America pissed me off. So y'all know what movie that was with the whole Iron Man thing. But in that movie though, Black Panther showed up and he kicked butt. And then from there on out, we're like, okay, where's Black Panther? Where's Black Panther? So now coming into 2018 and now, waiting for this Black Panther movie, we want to see, which I'm sure we will, but we want to see what happens with Black Panther and his character. Why? Because his story already developed. We already know a little bit about him, but it intrigued us more to want to know, what is he going to do? What villain is he going to face?
Mm-hmm.
Will he be the villain? Who's going to be on his side?
White Jaguar.
Well, yeah. But my whole point is
White
that it intrigued you in that sense because it had a storyline, and you're right. And, I'm sorry,
Here it comes.
but the actors were just good.
In Marvel?
In Marvel, yeah. I feel like they pick good characters. I'm sorry.
Because the dude who plays Thor, same dude from Jurassic World, isn't it? Or is that his brother?
No.
No?
That's not his brother.
Helmsworth? Not the same guy? Maybe they're cousins? Google that shit. I talk about it. What's up, Gmo? You're not Googling? Okay.
I wasn't, but...
I gave you a direct order. I expect you to do what I tell you to do. Okay? You understand? Okay. Just boss, employee. I mean, you just gotta... Why does everyone stop watching? Uh-oh.
You just don't respond when he starts being a smart ass. Good job. Good job. Stop watching when he starts being a smart ass.
No. Chris Helmsworth.
I didn't know they were like siblings though.
Well, maybe that was Chris Pratt.
It was another guy.
Oh, Chris Pratt's the other guy. Pratt's the one from... Okay, never mind. Go to Chris Pratt.
Let's see.
Because Chris Pratt's the one from Jurassic World.
Okay.
That's what I think I was tripping off of. Because they both named him Chris.
Everybody's name is Chris.
Yep, that's what it was. My bad. Well, here's movie last creativity, and I remember just waiting for any chance to be like, yes, but no, that didn't happen. I was honestly disappointed in Batman and Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Thanks, Lil.
Even Lil kept it gangster. So there you go. But damn. So don't go see Justice League, and don't eat the McRib. Next topic.
And always go see Marvel movies.
Apparently.
Yeah, just always go see Marvel.
Damn, what is the next topic? Oh, maybe I should get into the whole crush thing.
I think I got a crush.
No, I'll get into that later. That's going to make me mad. Where's the crush one?
Hope it's not
Well,
too hard.
there's that. Justice League. Come on. Wish these things loaded faster. Oh.
Hey, you guys. I hope more of you are watching because I noticed we just went up in numbers and then went whoop right back down.
It happens. Life is life.
It does happen.
Okay, so this topic came up the other day in a conversation because I feel like there's a supposed view on the word crush. If you have a crush on somebody...
Yes.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, right on.
It was a good movie. Great movie.
If you have a crush on somebody, it's almost seemed like, I don't know, I get this feeling that people look at it like it's juvenile. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But it also depends on what a crush is. Like, I just look at it like an interest, and that's it. Like, oh, I like these few qualities, and I haven't really said anything, and that's just it. I just have a crush. I have an interest, and that's it.
So I wonder if having a crush is rooted in childhood. Just like we talked about video games, but I wonder if it stems from that.
Probably when you first have one.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So it stems from childhood.
Everything stems from childhood.
Amen. Don't he do it?
Don't he will.
Won't he will?
That's
Don't he do it?
But, yeah, so I was talking to this girl a couple years ago. Was it last year? No, it was the year before. We met on this dating site, but she was just not my type. What do I mean by that? So,
he's mean.
Just keeping it real.
Everybody needs love. Keep going.
I didn't say she didn't deserve any or wasn't going to get any. It just wasn't going to be for me. She was not my type. And I couldn't tell from the pictures because I'm tired of seeing all this shit. I want to see everything so I know what I'm getting into.
Some of you are some good anglers, okay?
Yes, boy. Oh, look. I can only see her from the nose up. Oh, she's hot. Can't fucking tell.
You can't do that unless you like Iranian or something.
Just saying is all I'm saying. Know what I'm saying? Anyway. So when I finally meet her, she's a nice person. She's cool to talk to, but I wasn't vibing like that. I wasn't trying to date her. It just, and then I got to know her a little bit, and boy, she had talked about, and I can say all this stuff now because I don't talk to her no more because she's kind of a beyond.
Again.
But that's on her for talking shit.
Let's reserve ourselves from this.
She was talking shit, so I'm going to talk shit 2 years later now because I'm petty. So anyway, she had talked about how she had slept with this really young dude. She was a little older than me, maybe 2 to 3 years older than I was, and so she was already in her 40s, and she slept with some dude who was early to mid 20s, and she said she found herself a tenderoni, and so I started singing the song Tenderoni. She's like, "Don't do that because I feel like you're making fun of me," and I kind of was. It was just, but it wasn't really a big deal, right? She just felt bad about it, and so I was like, all right, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. But we were friends, and that was all we decided that we were going to be.
Yes.
Because I was not going to be pursuing her. But then I ended up having interest in other women after she and I decided just to be friends, and I was very busy and wasn't going to have a whole lot of time to date anyway, and I still don't. But I think after telling her that, and then my interest went from potentially could have been her, right?
To I don't want her at all.
To someone else, even though I still don't have the time, I still have an interest in someone else, and I'm talking to her a couple times a week, just in conversation.
Okay.
So it probably misled and or offended her. And in the middle of a conversation, I mentioned I had a crush on somebody, and out of nowhere, she was like, "I don't think we should be friends anymore." I was like, "What? What happened?" She's like, "We just don't. Our paths aren't crossing." We're in different places in our life. What are you talking about? We were fine 5 minutes ago. Now all of a sudden you have something negative to say, and I knew what it was, but I'm like, she's not going to say what it is. I'm like, is it about? I think I said this about me crushing on whomever or whatever, and I think that's what she said. It's it's very juvenile. But I think that was her way of getting back at me. You think that's what it was? Do you think she was trying to make me feel like shit?
It's possible.
Because I incidentally made her feel like shit. Because I didn't do it on purpose.
Incidentally. I love that word.
I don't like how you use how you like the...
Sorry, Moving on. So, people.
I'm just saying.
How do you define a crush? Is it age specific?
And Rick says it's a strong feeling of romantic love or someone that is usually not expressed and does not last a long time. I don't know what long time, how do you define long time, but I'm assuming it's not years. Crushes probably last a few weeks, a couple months, and then they die off. Mm-hmm. Maybe they come back every so often.
Well, you can crush...
Colorado?
Oh, gosh. I think it depends on how you leave off on the simple fact of what you're crushing on.
Looks.
So if you see that person a couple years down the line, they don't look the same way you thought they look. Are you still crushing?
Nope. Because that's part of it. That's why God gave us eyes. Some of us have 4 of them. Hello? Mm-mm. I'm just saying. Is that bad?
Have you ever crushed on someone's personality?
Yes. Several times.
That's a good thing, people.
See, I'm not shallow.
I didn't say you were.
I know. I'm just verifying. To me, a crush is just more... Wait. Oh, to me. Oh, she speak to texting. I'm like, Tamia? Who the fuck is Tamia? To me, a crush is just more of an intense attraction. It tends to be very materialistic based on looks and not really knowing a person. Crush equals excitement in the idea of someone. Yeah, I have that. I get those things.
So, is that Dasha?
Yes, that's Dasha. Tamia.
So Dasha, I like what you said. Lils, I like what you said too. I'm gonna start with Dasha first though. With Dasha, I understand the part where she said, it's for the idealistic outside, or I'm guessing just your image of what you look like. But I wonder if some people you really do crush, like I said, with a personality. Because, of course, you crush on a person from what they look like. So I wonder, have you ever had anybody in your life that you crushed on their personality? Or was it just infatuation? Because I think sometimes we get that mixed up, too, where you're just infatuated with someone or what they do. Or maybe even what they represent. Or you're just fixated on them.
I had a friend of mine.
Just fixated on what they do and how they do it.
Like 8 years ago, we used to go walking all the time. And if she pops in here, it's going to be really funny. But I wasn't physically attracted to her, but I definitely... What are you doing?
No idea. I was like rereading what Lily said.
Oh.
Sorry.
But we used to go walking all the time, and I really had a crush on her personality. She was just a really sweet person. But physically, I wasn't attracted to her. But physically, it almost didn't matter too much. It did, but it was getting to the point where, like, maybe it doesn't, but then it just did. And so I never ended up pursuing her. Yeah. But I think you absolutely can crush on someone's personality. She was I wish more people were that sweet. She was just a really sweet, kind, giving person.
Yeah. And
now she's got a man. I'll kill him. Just kidding.
Read Dashes?
Yes, a crush is very much infatuation. Base, I have crushed on a coworker because his personality is super cute.
Cool. So I wonder how, for all of you guys, because I know Lily, I really love what you said because I felt like it was a great definition of, like, I feel like it was a general definition of what it means to crush on someone. And not just for Dasha and Lils, but I want to know how long is too long to crush. Because I think that's what we get mixed up sometimes, and that's why I said it can be rooted in your childhood, but only because that's what you do when you first like somebody. Like, oh, you got a crush on them. Like, Keisha got a crush on Daryl. Keisha got a crush on Daryl. Like, little
Who's
things
Keisha
like,
and
I don't
Daryl?
know. It was just an example.
Are they black people?
But we're going to make them black stay. So the thing is that how long is too long, and is there a time frame on when you should stop crushing people? Because I find that to be interesting how some people say the older you get, you shouldn't crush on people. I think it's bogus, but help me understand people.
Yeah. I think you made a point. It's like, yeah, the older you get, you shouldn't be crushing on people because it should be more about who they are instead of just what they look like.
But then you take the fun.
I like fantasy. Fantasy's fun. Like the lady, you didn't see her today because this morning she came to visit me. It was so sweet of you. Aww.
I was in the neighborhood, actually.
Aww, friend.
Ew.
She came to visit me while I was having breakfast somewhere. And there's a lady who works at the restaurant I was at. But she wasn't there today, but she was there yesterday.
Okay, and not the reality of a person. Okay, keep going.
And the lady, she's really cute, really short.
Oh,
nice,
yeah, I remember this.
Nice body.
I remember this.
She's got I told you about her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And I think that's why like I said, I had a crush.
And that's where we started yeah.
Oh, that's where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
She looked good, though. You should come back another time and come see her. Speaking of crushes, hi, Jasmine.
Hey, Jazzy Jazz.
Then I saw this other lady today at Sprouts, and I thought she was cute. And I thought, I could date her, too.
Yeah.
Just based on physical appearance. And she had really nice teeth. Really nice teeth.
That's a good thing.
Oh, my God.
That's a really good thing.
Her teeth were gorgeous. They were sparkling. I think it said Crest across the front in gold plates.
Hope it says Sensodyne, because Crest ain't that good. But anyway.
Aqua frickin' fresh.
For those of you just joining us, hi, Jazzy Jazz. And for others who just happen to be coming by our page, we're talking about a crush. What is a crush? Can we crush on more than just our physical attributes or physical, appearance? And how long is too long to crush on somebody? Are we too old to be crushing? Are we not?
I think,
Sorry.
Actually, it's okay. Where is it? Let me see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, one of the responses was, Britannia says, yes, you should stop having them at 85, because at that age, you should just go for it. What do you have to lose?
Why 85? How about when you build up some confidence?
I don't know. See, that's the part that Rick gets to, which made me feel sucky, because sometimes I just don't have the confidence, right? Sometimes I look at somebody, and I think to myself, would we mesh with who I am? Like, could you come into my world and could you feel comfortable? I literally think of stuff like that. And just based on the way someone looks, I think probably not.
But could you guys create a world?
I don't know women who've ever really wanted to. Or let me rephrase that. I haven't dated women that I could think of. No, I haven't dated women that have ever really wanted to create a world. They wanted to make maybe more cut things out of mine. Into things I love, like video games and cartoons.
Well, I mean, this isn't Build a Man. It's not Build a Bear. We're not building people. But,
Could have my cartoons.
No, because I'm just thinking, because a lot of times we do say that, and this is veering off on a little bit of something else, and we'll get back to what we were saying, but I think a lot of times when we're trying to figure out, and I myself is 100% guilty of this, we're trying to figure out the individuals we seek out to date. We talk about, okay, how our relationships have been over time, what people have interest of in the dating time frame or courting time frame, or what happened that made us separate, what happened in the relationship, what happened before we became one. And I think it all boils down to who we are as individuals, because I think we skip out on the part of what we are attracting. And it's like, what are we doing or not doing internally within ourselves?
Which brings about the attraction that people have to us and vice versa.
Exactly.
Okay.
They always say laws of attraction and stuff like that. That's true.
Yeah.
But if I'm a hot mess, I'm going to seek somebody else that's a hot mess. Why?
Or maybe someone who can fix you.
Because you want somebody to save you. But at the end of the day...
Captain.
Yeah. You want someone to save you, but at the end of the day, we both need to be saved. Because if you're constantly saving somebody else, you need to be saved too in the process of trying to save someone else.
It's kind of funny.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So, Lily, you said... Can you read it? Sorry. Oh.
I think it depends on whether or not they are reciprocating, because if they reciprocate, the relationship will move forward and it will enter into another phase. If they do not reciprocate, then it's a wake-up call and time to move on. I don't think I can put a time on it. And you're right. Matter of fact, one of the workshops I went to last year at the camp, was it the Fall Symposium or the annual whatever one? The one up in it was one up in LA, the annual one. And one of the workshops I went to, they talked about that in relationships and reciprocation. And if it's not reciprocated, then you're not really having a relationship. And this is one of the things I coined some years ago when I was writing a book, which I probably shouldn't use the phrase right now, but I'm going to anyway. A me-relationship. Okay? So if you are dating someone and you're constantly giving to them and trying to do your part, right?
Yeah. And
they are constantly making sure that they're also being fed, but not really feeding into you, exchanging the love tanks and stuff, things like that, 5 love languages. You're trying to have a relationship, but they're trying to have a me-relationship.
No, that makes sense. I mean, that's almost, yeah. Well, if you take it in the spiritual terms, that's like a pastor continuously showing up every Sunday and pouring into others and no one giving it back in return.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, it happens. This is why pastors have to take sabbaticals. But that's a whole other story. But the point is that it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
It's one-sided where you prophesied to me, and then I just pour it out and I'm empty now, but yet you're not going to fill me back up.
Yeah.
And that is relationship sometimes.
It is.
That's how it is. But then that's when you have to identify in that relationship. And thank you for writing that, Lil. You have to identify in that relationship whether it's worth staying or whether it's saying, okay, I'm done, to move forward. So you
guys are saying I should hit on the waitress lady at the restaurant? Oh, Lil's got crushes? Hey.
Good night, Lil.
I thought she had a...
I wish you would stay on, but good night, Lil.
I thought she had a boyfriend.
That's long gone.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Lil, I wish you would stay on. Go to sleep. It's only 9:04.
Oh my God.
And you on California time, so don't try to play me. You ain't 3 hours ahead.
My God, you are so black. I love it.
Whatever.
So yeah.
But yeah, overall with the crush, personally, I don't think there's a time frame when you can and cannot crush anyone. I don't think you outgrow a crush. I don't even think there's an age limit on a crush. Not
because it's just a reaction. It's just a physical reaction. I like that person. I like what they look like. I like talking to them. They seem sweet.
Exactly. Or hey, like I noticed you noticing me too. Like we noticed each other. Type of thing. It's like, You
picking up what I'm putting down? Holla.
There we go.
All right. Well, I guess I shouldn't feel so bad. Maybe I'll go.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Lil, you can't. You're not going to sleep.
No, I think it's about me saying the thing about
I'm going to call you. Oh, you silly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to call you after the show, and you better answer the phone.
Yeah, we'll be done in like 20 minutes. Just kidding. Anyway, next
Lil
topic.
will be up. She'll be up.
Next topic?
Mm-hmm.
Lil's going to join us on the next
Lil, you were
episode.
giving some good feedback here.
Yeah, we enjoyed having you.
I love this commentating.
Ooh, I like this one. Y'all ready for this one?
No.
This one is, if you could rid the earth of one thing. God, this thing loads so slowly. Son of a bee. If you could rid the earth of one thing, what would it be? And you can only use an animated GIF or a picture to explain what you're getting rid of.
I don't really 100% know what GIFs are because I don't use them.
GIF is just an animated. Okay, so look at this here. See? This is my post because I'm like, okay, let me start it off. I hit this thing. Son of a bitch, come on. Really? It's supposed to animate. Okay, you know what? Fuck
You're
it.
not suffering today.
It's not. Anyway, so I don't know. My computer's kind of old, so it is what it is. But yeah, so the image slash actually GIF I used was one of a science experiment. You take fear, which was like candlelight or candle, right, or fire, and you have it heating up a beacon, not beacon. What is it? A Bunsen?
Beaker.
Beaker. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I was thinking of the Muppet Babies. And you have the flame of fear. Ooh, the flame of fear, heating up the beaker of ignorance. Okay. And then it goes to son of. Would you just? It won't animate it. I don't know why. Okay, and dripping into is okay. So it's basically turning a liquid into a gas, and then turning that into a liquid on a condensation on the way out, and it ends up in like the hate container thing. What is that called? Is that the Bunsen?
No, the thing under it would be the Bunsen burner.
Oh yeah, it's Bunsen burner.
But that is a tube.
It's like a collecting swab
it's
tube
a tube,
thingy.
yeah.
Yeah, and in that tube is hate. So Bunsen burner, Bunsen. Beaker, into the tube of hate. So creating hate. So basically, yeah, that's just what it is. I mean, if you want to look at it, and I don't mean to be too political because this is really not the show for that. That would be Thursdays, but Thursday's Thanksgiving, so there will not be a show. You can look at how people view refugees in this country, right? People always view refugees as, oh my God, we have to vet them. We don't know who they are. They're coming into our country. What are they going to do? Where are they coming from? Are they terrorists? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? All that kind of shit, right? But then you look at all the like refugee groups throughout the years, all the, I don't know, since America's inception, right?
Yeah.
Prior to the British, or the former British, which became the Americans, and
the British are coming.
Killed off the Native Americans. Those were refugees, right? And what happened to those? Those refugees stayed, but the natives, what happened? Were killed off.
Smoke my peace pipe and all that other
Right,
stuff.
and then the first Thanksgiving. No, that's not how that happened.
Yeah.
And then you go from there, and you have this view or this feeling of, oh my God, that's going to happen to us. Which I think is really what it is. It's maybe white guilt in a sense of, we did this to them, so someone's going to do this to us, so we have to protect ourselves, so we're not caught up. So now, even though we stole the land, fair and square, we're not going to let anyone come in and steal our land.
Because that's what we do. We steal things that aren't ours.
Yeah, because you can't steal your own stuff.
Well, ain't none of it ours anyway. We all just was born on the earth, right? Like,
that's true. You can't take none of it with you.
Create none of it.
Can't take any of it with you.
Last time I checked, it was not Christ in creating stuff. Like,
nope.
Last time I checked.
And so that was one thing I would get rid of, was obviously ignorance and hate. And I get fear.
I like that, the fear. I thought that was really good.
I thought it was a really good one. I think I searched. You actually have this little GIF thing down here, like you could write a comment or whatever, but you can also hit post a GIF. You click that, you type in a word, and whatever words are associated with that image or that animated GIF, all those images will come up, and you can select which one to represent whatever you're trying to say.
You know, two things came to mind.
Go ahead. What do you want to get rid of?
Of course, greed. I feel like that's the normal thing. But one just really came to my mind as we were sitting here talking about it, and the one thing was doubt. If we can get rid of one, like just delete one thing in the world, it would be doubt. And the reason why I say doubt is because I feel like that taps into so many different things, even pertaining to our level of faith. Whether it's you believing in Christ or you believing in Muhammad, like whoever it is you want to believe in, you know? And just the belief of being able to get certain employment, certain housing, certain, just, I don't know, maybe you want to adopt a kid, whatever it is. Like, I feel like doubt is so huge, and it stops us and stunts us from being who we are intended to be.
From moving a crush into a relationship.
Or it stops us from getting that job. It stops us from going to school.
Even applying for the job.
Or even applying for the job. It stops us from going back to school if you left and then trying to figure out how to get back. It stops us from, going and getting that apartment. It stops us from going after that relationship we knew we should have went after. Or that individual we should have went after and we let them go. Or
maybe even like a sales deal or something like that. You think, oh, this is a big client. They'll never like me. They're used to dealing with so-and-sos and whatever. Well, who knows if they even like those kind of people. Maybe they're just like, it's what we have to deal with. We want somebody different, someone out of the box.
So much doubt. It's literally mental gymnastics that we do in our head, and we stop ourselves from ourselves. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. We stand in our own way a lot of times, and that own way is doubt. So I speak in general and from a personal perspective, and I think we all as humans can relate to doubt, because I feel like doubt really pushes the idea of fear, because that's where it's rooted in. Am I correct? Like the whole idea of doubting is because we have a fear that it's not going to happen. And of course that gets a little bit more spiritual, a little bit more biblical, because I'm very based in that. But I feel like if we had a world where nobody doubted about what was going to happen, how it was going to happen for them. Food was going to end up on the table. People was going to have clothes on their back. People were going to be able to go and take their kids to school.
Oh, good. We're back. Yeah. Okay, we stopped for a second. Did we stop for a second for you guys, or could you guys hear us? Somebody let me know.
But yeah, so my whole thing is that doubt was something that really strongly came to my mind. We all know why we would want greed away, because greed is just horrible. One of the deadly sins.
Too much money.
But doubt, I don't think we pay attention to that, because that stops us from moving forward.
And to go with doubt, James said that to go with your thing with doubt is also shame.
Yes.
He says, similar to your doubt topic, not sure how I'd quantify it yet. Haven't really thought much about it since, but that's what he originally thought was like, yeah, shame. Shame would keep us. It's almost like, I mean, someone brought this up to me years ago before I became a therapist. That what did she say? She said shame is is kind of like built in or structured into a lot of I guess issues people have in therapy. There's a lot of shame in maybe things that have happened, or maybe they feel shamed about themselves, and it all kind of goes back to pride.
It does.
And it's like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
You can sit and be in a shame cycle. I get what you're saying, James, because you're right, that is like doubt. I mean, shame is pretty much, I don't want to see you. Let's take it back.
Take it back.
Let's go back to Genesis. Let's go back to Genesis with Adam and Eve.
Hey.
And we're going to take it back there because that's the first instances of shame. And I say that because, when Adam decided to eat the apple, and of course Eve ate the apple as well, before they ate the apple, they were in there and they were in the, in the place naked and open and not even afraid of what each other had. We're not looking like kind of cover up. And then once he ate the apple, and she ate the apple, it exposed them to a whole nother world. Not even just a whole nother world, a whole nother outlook on life. Which we were never intended to be exposed to. That was the reason why the Lord specifically said what he said to both specifically Adam, and Eve was supposed to submit to her husband. And those wires got crossed, and that didn't necessarily happen. And
then we have the black woman. Just kidding.
and what happened there is that the first thing that they discovered when, God calls out to Adam and Eve, And they're not really like, well, wait a minute, like, Lord, we're naked, like, let's go hide, you know? That's the first instance of shame. And what happened there was that Adam knew he didn't follow the rules in which he was supposed to follow.
Right.
He knew he was supposed to lead his wife.
And he did not.
He did not.
He let her lead, and she was misled.
Exactly.
That's why you can't vote for Donald Trump unless your wife tell you who to vote for.
That is a hot mess. No, but the whole point is that that's how our world has been shaped from the beginning. So, James, I get you. Like, that's how it's been shaped. Shame-based. Because we started off being, you know, in shame and feeling like, oh my gosh, we just got exposed, we need clothes on. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. We don't get naked. And I don't mean naked in the sense of no clothes. I just mean we don't get naked to fully get through whatever we need to get through.
That's deep.
Yeah. I don't know where that just came from, but yeah.
Well, apparently you've been reading this book called Leading Like Jesus. You're going to be leading this podcast right to your page.
I'm sorry.
We call it Ashley from OC.
I don't want a podcast. I just want to speak. Talk about it.
So, somebody replied with no comment, and it's kind of funny because there's some stuff going on, but I thought it was kind of funny. So I posted for her. It says, when you run into your ex in public. There's a picture, there's an animated GIF of this little boy trying to run away from this little girl on a little tractor, and she runs his ass right over. She laughed at that one. But she posted another one that says, when you see your ex drowning, and you see this hand come up from the ocean, and you see the other hand come in, and then you see the high five, and you see the hand go down underwater. When you see your ex drowning, you don't try to save him, you say, fuck him. Right, well, people.
Well, Sarah, you're a little...
Hey, I didn't say names.
Sorry. Miss Culver, you're a little...
Donald Trump. Jeff Cato wants to get rid of Donald Trump, and you know what? He's right. I wish this thing would animate by now, but we already know that this thing's not going to animate. I don't know how the other one did.
I was about to say the other one did. Maybe it's just the gifts. Maybe they're a little stuck today.
I think I have to click this first, and this is what loads them. Oh, so it's a GIF of Donald Trump, someone playing Donald Trump, wiping his hair. He had a fur coat on, a nice suit. This is a very nice suit. He looked good. He looked good. And money blowing all around him. I think it's a Korean dude. I can't really tell, which kind of makes it even funnier because, you know, Korea and stuff. Anik, oil spills.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah. Kelly says the devil. Well, I took it a step further because Kelly voted for Trump. So I found an animated GIF that made Trump the devil. And it animates, and when you remove his toupee of hair, it reveals two horns on top of a bald head. It's kind of cute. It's actually accurate.
What about selfishness?
That could go into...
Only because we live in an individualistic society.
Could that go into pride and shame? Or what would you say, shame and what was the other one?
Doubt.
Shame and doubt. I doubt anybody will ever give me this, so I'm going to keep it for myself. Or I doubt they're going to give it back. Or I doubt I can find anything else to play with. I'm ashamed if I don't have this because I feel worthless without it. Mm-hmm. Maybe. It all kind of rolls them together.
Yeah. No, that's a possibility. Only because I'm thinking, like, we live in such an individualistic society that it's always about us. Mm-hmm. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not. It's not just about us. We're just one puzzle piece to the big puzzle.
Yep. We're one planet and a myriad of other planets and galaxies and one universe, man. One world, one universe, man. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, silly. We're not the only ones out here, man. Like,
somebody's tired.
Nah, dude, I can just see it. Like, there's others, man.
You're silly. Don't choke.
I'm not. My body hurts.
I want to see some more.
You want to see some ball earth theory? Ryan said he wants to get rid of the ball earth theory. That means the earth is flat. I really don't care if
isn't that a pressing issue of Janae about whether the earth's around or flat?
Some people make it an issue. Ooh. Me? I really don't care if the earth is flat or round. I don't care if there's really other people out in the universe. I don't care if Bigfoot really exists. It's nice to think about, though. I don't care if aliens are really out there.
I was saying extraterrestrials. I know you were...
I don't care. I mean, it's nice to think about and talk about and hypothesize and whatever. But as far as like, how do I ever stay up at night? Like, I wonder if. No, because I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I care about? School, my kids, family, friends. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, really important stuff. Because let's keep it real. If the Earth were flat, cats would have knocked everything off of the Earth by now.
Why cats in particular? Because they're sneaky.
Meow. Meow. I didn't play that. It just happened.
The funny part is that you laughed at your own stuff.
Shut up. Everyone else is laughing too.
No.
You are stretching KJ's selfishness is his own thing. Why does she always take shots at me, Dash? Dash, I don't understand why every week you take shots at me. Did I say that last week? I told you.
I love Dash.
Every time she gets a chance to take a shot at me, she takes a shot. And whatever, it's her own issue. She can.
I love Dasha. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I'm both, single.
What you want to do?
My choice.
I am
choice.
too.
No. I know who you like.
Oh, I would love to know.
I'm not going to say his name. So anyway, Gordon wants to get rid of all
I love how
STDs.
Who I like.
Derek wants to get rid of the Browns in Walmart. I guess he works at Walmart. Jenny wants to get rid of the mosquitoes. Gary wants to get rid of the Philadelphia Eagles. I guess
Absolutely. I'm with you, Gary.
He's a Cowboys fan.
I'm with you, Gary.
He also doesn't understand why people are taking your knee, so I don't know how much you want to be with him.
I just said on that comment. I didn't say for every ideology he had.
Now, I know this is like not intended to be funny, but I kind of thought it was funny. But it's not intended to be funny because it's like there isn't a Christina, Tyrone's wife, so there isn't a gift for human trafficking. So I'm like, well, maybe there is. So I found one, and it's this animated feature of this guy taking this girl and throwing her in the trunk and then closing the car and driving off.
No, that's not funny.
I know it's not like, but it's human. Like I typed in human trafficking or kidnapping, and then here's another one of an Ewok patting this little boy. It says, "You come to Van, I have candy," and he's scratching his arm, and so it's.
And that's creepy.
It is, but it's not.
Creepy.
It's not really.
That's not funny.
It's not really a line from the movie. It's just. I don't know. People think I'm weird. I am weird. I'm a weird. I have a Family Guy sense of humor. We should watch Family Guy tonight.
No, we should not.
After the Cowboys skins?
No, we should not.
1990? No?
I'm going to sleep.
Megan says Republicans. Daniel says terrorism, racism, which is this animated gif of Peter Griffin pulling up to a police stop, and the police are like, "Oh, is he a terrorist?" And it has like the color scheme. The lighter you are, you're not a terrorist, and the darker you are says you are a terrorist. So it's animated, but it's just not showing for some reason.
That's so true, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Not that there aren't white terrorists in this country, because obviously we've had them. But it's just kind of funny because I wonder if the definition of terrorism ever changed. Like, was it always political, or did it change maybe after some point? Like, hey, let's be a little more specific, or let's be a little more general.
I don't know.
Let's change the focus of it. You never know. Mona said poverty, no kid hungry. Carrie Ann, this one actually animates to say money.
That was a traditional one. That's why I didn't want to really say that.
Okay. Tim Brooks wants to get rid of these, what are these called?
Jorts?
No, they're the man, I don't know what they're called. They're like man versions of these things. They're not, oh God, I'm tired. They're not pajamas, but they're, I don't know what they're called.
I don't know.
They're like the onesies, but they're for guys.
Oh, those romper things?
Yeah, that's it. Rompers.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have one. Mary Madison said hate. Rick Miltimore, this thing animates, it says ignorance. So yeah, there's a lot of couple of ignorance, and I mean, we have some. What's funny?
Really good things.
Out of everyone in here, okay. Now I do know Republicans. I do know people who are conservatives. Not anyone who responded, except for Gordon, said anything about. I think Gordon's a Republican. I'm not sure, but everyone who looks like they responded either, well, at least didn't vote for Trump and can't stand Trump. And it's just kind of funny because the three people who did vote for Trump, I think, picked STDs, the Ball Earth Theory, and the devil. And the rest of us are like, how about earthly issues, like things that Republicans do? She's got issues with her ex, so I'm not going to talk bad about her because she's got a thing going on right now.
Well, I would erase sin if I could.
Yeah, but
that would be like...
That would just be everything.
Yeah. We all would be dead. Like,
seriously.
We all would be done.
Especially you.
Again, that's the third shot he's taking today.
That's not true.
I'm going to try and refrain from whooping his ASS after I just spoke about the Lord Christ. Keep it moving. Charles Manson is dead.
I'm going to fight you.
Bush got...
Ow! Stop playing.
Continue.
Charles Manson's dead. Finally. He died at 83 years old. Did you know who Charles Manson was?
I did. I was going to say I didn't even know he died yet.
Yeah.
I said yet.
I think it was just, 2 days ago?
I said yet. That is horrible. I'm sorry.
He just died, I guess it was Sunday. The lady whose family, I guess he terrorized, or the woman he terrorized, Shannon Tweed or something like that, I guess she got a call from the California Department of Corrections or whatever, and it was like, we just want to let you know that Charles Manson's dead. I don't know if it was...
The internet's working. I don't know what's going on with your phone.
Rompims, that was it. Okay, yeah.
Rompers, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They changed it from Rompers to Rompims.
Oh, Rompims?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Instead of Romper, even though it's a romper, it's made it sound like romp her to romp him.
I think it's
because it was a he.
I don't agree with the attire, but
I don't either. I would never wear that shit.
In my opinion.
No, I'm a grown ass man. People are chiming in. I'm going to say, just be like.
Sally and beat him.
I don't know.
Oh, Sally and beat him. Just like be like Sally and beat you.
Is this in color purple?
Yeah.
Please don't hit me. I bruise easy. But yeah, I just find it interesting. Bush got Saddam. Obama got Osama. Because they were cousins and he knew where he was. So he built ISIS. And Trump got UCLA.
I know, right?
The Ball family. Who is Trump going after?
Or maybe the Russians got Trump.
NFL players. He's going after NFL players. That's it. NFL players.
That's because the Russians got Trump.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Like, dead guy who deserves to be dead is still alive. Okay.
Also, considering Bush already knew where Saddam was, so we're not even going to play his game.
Well, then I'm going to assume also, not because I'm trying to play devil's advocate, that we also knew where Osama was, and we were just acting like we didn't. Or maybe even...
But Obama got Osama quick. Bush took longer than he even needed to, because he knew where he was at. Wasn't your daddy friends with this man? Like...
Not friends, but he went after him first and couldn't get him or something like that. I don't know.
They was like friends.
Because that was 91 when we invaded Kuwait, Saudi Arabia.
Went somewhere we probably weren't supposed to be as usual.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what's the issue? And I always see these commercials, they were protecting our freedoms.
What freedoms? Anything
freedom of speech, freedom of press.
Anything that remotely gets close to America that we don't particularly, or excuse me, the government doesn't particularly like, we're going after you.
Yeah.
You threaten us.
We didn't like what you said. So?
You told us we were wrong for doing X, Y, and Z, so now we have to protect ourselves. How? Let people have their opinions.
Can we just stop being snowflakes?
Wow. So Trump, who are we going to get? Or who has gotten Trump?
He's going to get got.
He already got by the Russians.
Don't he do it? Won't he will? I added a new photo. No, I didn't. What is this? Oh, God. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. This is a good one. You want to do this one?
Oh, yes. I like this one.
Should parents charge adult children rent?
How old are you?
My comment is...
Ow, my foot.
Ow, my foot. No. My comment is, if extenuating circumstances happen. So, for instance, if my child broke their back and obviously can't work, can't take care of themselves for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. I'm not going to charge you rent. Just bring your ass over here. I know it's the real world, but I got you, right? I'm going to do everything I can to help you. You're just going to need to sit here in this bed for 8 hours a day, and I'll come home and help you after that. Hopefully I have other children to help out too.
Oh, wait.
I can't sit at home by myself.
You know. Okay, what you do? You got to that part. I was like, all right.
I got to go to work. Daddy got to go to work. Unless I can move my office into my home.
But see, that's accommodating for a child, which granted I understand, but at that age, no. There's limited accommodations after a certain age.
I said broken back.
Oh, but
like you can't move.
If you're the only parent, and it's like you're not living in a household with both parents, I can see how you would accommodate for that. Absolutely.
Yes.
But if it's a bunch of y'all living there, we all just going to have to help out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? That's
and the one who's home the most is going to help the most.
Yeah, that's a little too much because I mean, that's just a little too much.
So,
but that's extenuating circumstances because
right, and that's when I think you shouldn't charge rent because why would you charge rent to your kid who's sick? Or injured, right? Yeah,
disabled at this point.
It's a dickhead move. You don't want to do that. That's mean.
Should parents charge adult children rent?
What do you think? At what point? Like, let's say you're going to school, or you've gone to school, you've graduated, and you have a job, but you still live at home. Should you be charged rent?
Absolutely. Here's my thing. Not necessarily rent, but start paying for little things that are yours.
Like your own food?
Cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Well, that should be, yeah. Okay.
Little things like a cell phone, or hey, let's contribute to this bill. Your contribution is most welcome. Paying full on rent sometimes, when you're not fully stable, I don't think is okay. And your parents should be at that point where I'm going to wait until they kind of get on their feet and get to a place where they are stable and able to help out. I don't think anything's wrong with that. But if I feel like you 30-something and you still living home and ain't doing nothing, we got a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a whole issue for me, especially if you are not disabled or debilitated in any way, shape, or form. I feel like, no, you would not be couch surfer?
Potato.
Couch potato. Or surfing on, living on people's couches, or just simply somebody who refuses to get a job because you are entitled or you're lazy and complacent. That does not mold over well with me. Now, other people probably have a different opinion on that, but I feel as if you are capable, can I get my words out, capable and able to work, to move around, to be able to go place, like the same way you get up from the kitchen to the couch, you can take your ass to work. I got real black there, but I'm just letting you know, which I love. But the point is that I think there is an age, 30 and over, get yourself together.
Absolutely.
My opinion.
So now, you think 30 should be the cutoff? Like no one after 30, outside of extenuating circumstances, should be able to live at home, rent free. Like, okay.
Or at least not, yes, and with a disclaimer to that. At least pay some sort of bills in the house.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be the full-on rent. Some sort of bills in the house, or at least pay a quarter, a half of the rent. You get what I'm saying? Because I mean, me personally, I would feel like that's unfair to my parent or parents who are taking care of me, working every single day, and I ain't doing nothing. You know, it's just like, well, wait a minute, and I'm doing stuff, but you know, I'm struggling here and there with the bills when you could have just contributed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like looking at that's selfish. You trying to keep all the money for yourself, but still live at home. So I guess for me, for personal experience, I guess for me and my brother, look, personal disclaimer, we all live separate. We all live in different states, separate, whatever. But when we are home, our parent at the time did not make us, pay rent. Why? Because we were both in school. We both were like working these little side jobs. We both were doing a lot. So it was kind of hard and kind of difficult to do that. But once we did get on our feet, we were able to help out in different areas, even living separately. We still were able to help mom out with certain things that she need. You know? Yeah. So that's just me. Anyway, keep going.
No, I feel you. And I think that's what it should be. I mean, I remember living at home still and asking my mom if she wanted me to help pay for a new this or that or, this or that. I think the phone bill, yes, because I was making long-distance phone calls, so I would contribute. Then I got a cell phone, so I didn't have to anymore. I mean, I would make local calls on the home phone, but, that was it. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I buy my own food, insurance, all that stuff that's on me, so... And cell phone pager. I had both, at one point, because, I was motherfucking baller. Pagers. Put the mortuary number on his pager. You don't even know that song. E40? No, that was actually...
you said it like E40, though.
They were from the Bay. What was the name of the damn group? RBL Posse. Never mind. Anyway, Jeff says, depends. It's now a cultural norm. This is a really good answer. I think you're going to like this. It's now a cultural norm due to high cost of living for more college grads to move back home so they can start life while saving money. Charging rent kills the entire purpose of that. Mm-hmm. Here's another one.
But your parent being homeless kills the purpose of that, too. Sorry,
But it's also...
I agree with it, but I'm just saying at the same time...
Yeah.
If it's going up for you, Ninja, what you think it's going up for them for? I mean, don't you think it would be going up for them as well?
Not if they own a home.
Not many people own homes. You're still paying them off.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's a fixed rate. Where apartments go up usually every couple of years at least.
Some people get fixed rates.
For loans?
Yeah, some people.
Yeah, not everyone.
Yeah.
It can be a variable, which is interesting because I don't know why you do that, but...
No, but I agree with Jeff. I agree. Well, see, that's because you need to stop going all the way out to these far out universities and having these kids live in dorms when they live down the damn street. That's stupid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, sorry, this is a good topic.
Jamie says, yes, I think it's needed to help them learn how to be responsible, independent adults. I agree. I personally wouldn't charge full rent. I'm down with that too. And I would also be putting away their rent money into a fund to help them when they are ready to purchase a house or for a wedding or children, etc. Basically, I wouldn't use the money unless we actually needed it. I would save it for them. That's a good. That's good. I like that idea because it's actually helping someone as opposed to just taking the money and be like, I want to go buy some shoes. I was teaching you stuff. Mm-hmm. But then you're teaching me by you going to buy shoes. What am I learning from this?
That's true.
That you like shoes?
No, that's true. That's true.
You can't figure it out. I can't tell you. What? That's black number for you. Just kidding. I'm not trying to tell other parents how to raise their kids on an issue like this. Thanks, Rick. You helped none.
You helped a lot. You helped out. Thank you.
He has before. Damien says, when my son started his job, I charged him $300 a month. But I was putting $150 up, so when he moved, he would have move-in fees. I think it just gives them a sense of paying bills. Mm-hmm. Absolutely great idea.
A sense of autonomy to understand what it's like to do stuff on your own.
Because now you don't have to worry. Like you pay your $150 in rent, which is obviously nothing. I mean, you're making $300 a month, so that means any shoes, clothes, like what else? Going out, cell phone, But I don't know how old his son was. I mean, his son could have been 16 years old. Yeah. So obviously he's not going to have a whole bunch of bills or whatever, or needs to do stuff. But
you learn how to figure out how you're going to get that 150 because that's what it is. It's figuring out how am I going to get that.
Do you remember the Cosby Show episode where Theo? They set it up to make Theo look like he was he moved out. Mm-hmm. I loved it because it really did teach him how to budget for his money. Mm-hmm. So he came in, they gave him Monopoly money of like $1,000 or whatever it was, right?
I remember that episode.
And they were like, okay, and Bill was playing the landlord. Okay, you owe $500 for rent. All right, cool. I still got to go, are you going to go out this weekend? You're going to take your girlfriend out? That's $200. Then it was, what about car insurance and gas? Well, have you eaten? I'll eat bologna sandwiches. Mm-hmm. And then he said, I think he asked him some other.
Yeah, because he took the money back. And then
he ended up with nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And it was like, there you go. It's not easy.
It's classic money management.
It's not easy. And that's what sucks, is because it's not easy. So that's why you gotta sue people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just gonna sue everybody for the rest of my life. Let me see. I want to get to another couple answers real quick. Then we're gonna move on to the next topic. I think we actually got the best one so far. No offense to anyone else. Oh well, Tyrone gives a really good answer here. He says he has a lot of socioeconomic developmental ideas on how this very subject has destroyed our economy, crippled an entire generation of Americans, and created multiple generations of debt and created a wealth gap. This sickens me. If this offends anyone, I'm sorry. If you can't provide a sustainable life for your children or at least plan for one, don't have kids. I totally agree with that. Yes, I understand that life happens, so don't respond with your hypotheticals. One, if you plan on kicking your kids out at 18 with no sense of responsibility and a leg up in this world, please don't procreate. Awesome. If you are going to tell your kids to go to college and create mountains of debt and struggle to burn out and work the rest of your life paying off debt, said debt, then don't have children. If you aren't teaching your kids at a very young age about the value of money and giving, please don't procreate. Yes, it is this serious.
I had to breathe on that one.
Go ahead. I thought it was a good answer. I thought it was a great answer.
Keep going back. Go back up, because I want to make sure I got it correctly.
One, if you plan on kicking out your kids at 18 with no sense of responsibility and a leg up in the world, don't procreate. He's just saying if you're not helping your kid out and you're just going to be like, good, you're 18, get out.
That's not the one I'm concerned about. I agree 100% on that one. Let's go to number 2.
If you are going to tell your kids to go to college and create mountains of debt and struggle to burn out and work the rest of your life paying off said debt, then don't have children.
How do you feel about that one?
I have no problems with anything.
Explain exactly what he's saying in that statement, because I think my mind is going to a different direction.
My mind's telling me no. Okay, I'm going to read it again slower, and then I'm going to say it in my own words. Number 2. If you are going to tell your kids to go to college and create mountains of debt because you're not paying for their schooling, right? So you're going to create mountains of debt, which could equate to 15, 20K at least. If you go to a private school, even more. But then they're going to have to probably get mom and dad's help from that. But anyway, create mountains of debt and struggle to burn out and work the rest of your life paying off said debt, then don't have children. Meaning, in this day and age, with the way, I mean, you can have a master's degree and still only make $13 an hour. How do I know? My internship. He's $12 an hour for master's degrees.
Yeah, I don't know what place that is. No, I know what place that is, but that
yeah,
it just depends on where you work.
Not all places.
I was saying, depends on where you work.
They're training facilities, so it's different. But still, it's just one of those things like 13 or 12. You know, I mean, more bouncing. Granted, there's a limit as to how long you can bounce because 45, 50, like, okay, get out. Yeah. You know. But yeah, I think, how are you helping your kid by just sending them to school and saying, okay, go get your debt like the rest of us? Or maybe go get your debt like I didn't have because I didn't have debt because my school was way cheaper. You know, I hear so many stories about my mother, and this is from people who are 50 plus. My mother put us all through college with one job.
That's amazing.
And that's not possible anymore. Unless you're a mother, and that's with like multiple kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that includes, my 6, well, including my mom, 6 total children.
Yes.
I believe every single one of them went to college, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe one didn't, I don't know. But anyway, went through school with her working and their father working, and they put them through school. Could a family of 2, average people today, put 6 kids through college? I don't even think 6 kids could go through junior college, to be honest with you, with a family of 2.
Maybe.
And they're all in between maybe 73 and 60. So 13 years apart. I don't know if 2 parents could put 6 kids through even junior college right now.
So I just wanted to restate that statement only because I wanted to clarify where the aim and the blame was going. And it seemed more like it was going on the parent in that statement. When I think...
It's on the system.
Thank you. And that's what I was trying to clarify. I'm not trying to come at you, Tyrone, because I think you had some really good points.
He always does.
I just wanted to say that I feel like that's more of a system and societal problem than it is for a parent. Because I think every parent wants their child to have a great education or an education they never received.
And that's why he's saying don't procreate because it's only going to come up. It's not gonna help them to if you're going to put that on them. Don't procreate because it's just gonna make it worse than to take on all that debt.
But see, now that's personal because it's like.
Oh, I know. That's just his opinion.
No. I mean, like that seems personal. Like he's experienced a push.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's personal because I feel like college is not for everyone and that's optional. But again, we're talking about the system rather than the parenting.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Because I mean, from his perspective, it seems like he's talking to the parents and telling them, no, don't do it.
I think because how many ways can you I don't want to say legitimate because that makes it sound illegal, but how many people do you know without college educations are doing a great job right now with all their bills and have no issues? Have no financial issues at all. No college education, which means not even going to an AA, not even getting an AA.
It's very far and few between.
And that might be why he's saying that because we all know.
Yeah, but that's a system problem.
Right.
That's not a parenting issue.
But that's why he's saying if that's how the system is, don't procreate because you're just gonna get up for the kid, and they're gonna have a hard time because of the system.
I get exactly what he's saying.
I know, but you're still hearing it differently and I'm making you mad.
No, I'm not getting mad. I'm not.
Why are you so angry?
No, I agree exactly with some of the things that he mentioned in there because I think that's absolutely right. But that's, again, I feel like a system problem.
I agree.
And I feel like if a kid is ready and willing to handle those payments, and no one's really ready to handle it, but at the end of the day, we're all going to be forever indebted to somebody.
But it shouldn't be the way it is.
It shouldn't. I'm not agreeing to it. I am absolutely not agreeing to it. But it just all depends how you work your schooling. There's scholarships, there's grants. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different things that you can accrue if you inquire about them. And I think that's the lack thereof that the system does. It keeps you out of what could keep you out of debt. Mm-hmm. And that's the unfortunate part. I don't think it should be along the lines of reprocreating. I can't even get the
procreation.
Thank you. I couldn't even get the word out. Only because that's just like saying, well, the world is so corrupt, I don't want to have kids. What that got to do with anything? Like, I get it, but at the end of the day... It means
you don't want to subject your kids to the corruption of the world.
No, I get that, but at the end of the day, it's like, so are we just going to keep doing that because of the way the world is? The world is going to keep going the way that it is.
I don't think so. I think if people really realize how much power they had in their choices and how much we contribute to systems that oppress us, be we people of color, be we gay, be we people of the majority that don't realize that they're also being oppressed, I think really, if the people from like Alabama, Arkansas, some of those southern states looked at what the football people were doing and said, hey, that's happening to us too, we're gonna stand right here with you. Do you know how much change there would be?
I'm not saying it's not going to change. I don't want you to say.
But that's what I'm saying is that I think we really could if we realized how much we had in common as common people outside of the 1%. Mm-hmm. We could say the 1% because the military is more common people than the 1%. Okay. And the military might be like, hey, you guys are screwing us over. F your plans and things that you told me to do. Because what you're doing to the people of America is worse than what you want me to do to people from some other country.
When do you think these drastic changes will happen?
They're never going to happen. No, that wasn't my point. My point was that if we could get past whatever's blocking us from seeing all this, that we're a lot more similar. Even if there's people like black nationalists who hate white people or white nationalists who hate black people, if they could realize that they have a lot more in common than they have differences.
Yeah.
And we could start linking up, the government would have to change.
Yeah.
Because we start voting differently.
Yeah.
And then we start killing people who aren't fucking who aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. I guarantee you, if the military was like, hey, look, you guys are screwing the people over, you're done. Just like in other countries. You know what? You're done. Mm-hmm. Bye. Next. Who's next?
I think
Don't fuck up.
I think ifs are great possibilities. I think... And it's not diminishing or minimizing what you're saying. I think it's great possibilities, and I'm very optimistic about change and how change can happen. I just think, at the same time, do we stop life until it gets itself together and then say, okay, now let's have kids? Or and not even just kids, but do we stop life and say, you know, we gotta sweep it up a little bit? You know, just like a kitchen. Do you stop in the middle when you're cooking, or do you just wait to the end to wash the dishes?
Well, it depends.
You can
on
do
what
it
you're
in between.
Depends. Because if what you're making is huge and it's going to be a long undertaking, it's going to take weeks preparation and this and that and time and refrigerating and freezing and this over the next couple of days, and you got to let this sit for a couple of days and let it marinate, and like, dude, while you're letting the things marinate, why don't you clean up a little bit?
A little bit. We can still clean up, but by saying that is okay. But we can still go with our meal. We can still eat the same meal. We don't gotta not cook it because it's just gonna get all over the place.
No. Can we go to the next topic?
Sure.
I'm hungry.
Thank you, Tyrone.
Where's my head? Oh my God, my head.
Thank you for that.
I'm moving
insight.
this back a little bit. Sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you for that insight, Tyrone.
Yes. Oh, he does say, I think if we start our kids off with a leg up, mentally and economically, then we won't have these 30 plus living at home. But in that respect, yes, we can make an exception for them. Let's save some money and make a plan to get you on your feet to have your own. Because I said, what about a 30-year-old? You know, a 30-plus-year-old. If they just don't want to move out, then that's a different story altogether. You have to put it in a better context. So basically, yeah, like if you're 30-year-old sitting at home, not doing shit, well, it's time to move on. Speaking of moving on,
it's time to move on.
Next topic. If you could find one actress to play you, or maybe a myriad of actresses to play you for different parts of your life, in a movie, who would you find? Angela Bassett, that's one. All right, who else? Vivica Fox.
Never.
Who else? Tara Henson. Okay, got it. Thanks.
No.
Me. Just kidding. Who would you pick to play you?
I actually asked this question to my client.
Young Ashley, who are you?
I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for your help.
I'll say it after you say it because I need to process my thoughts.
I wish you would just use Facebook and just just answer everything I post. Don't stare at me like that. James said he would pick Luis Guzman. I don't know who that is. Oh, wait. It's several people. He said, as one big flashback, he would probably be Diego Luna. I don't know who that is. Old me telling the story, Luis Guzman. Adolescent me, I don't know, Ellen Page. I think that's hilarious because it's a girl. Julian Rock. Well, that's not really not his last name, but it's another last name. He said Lorenz Tate.
Yes!
Men's Society.
He was fine.
What you say about my mama, nigga?
He was fine. That was a good one. He was fine. He still is. He still
all
is
right,
good.
all right. Pick up your jaw and tuck your tongue. All right. Michelle says Ashley Judd.
Oh, she's a good one. I love Ashley. She's a good one.
Yeah, you like everyone named Ashley. Tyrone says James Earl Jones. That's kind of
He
funny.
was a good one, too.
Hayden Christensen for Jameson. This is one of Eric's buddies.
Hayden Christensen?
Uh-huh.
I remember him.
Eric, there's Eric. It says Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes! He would flick somebody black. I love it. I love it, Eric.
He says he would nail all my mannerisms. He probably would, too. I really think he would, because, yeah, Eric has some mannerisms about him. It's kind of funny.
He's hilarious.
Eric's autistic. Rick says probably C-3PO. I don't...
No.
I don't...
Don't recall, sir.
C-3PO from Star Wars?
I don't like Star Wars.
Oh, God. You're not American.
That's fine. That's actually perfect.
Nick Alexander says Busey, Gary Busey, which is really, really sad. Cam says young me, kid from Modern Family. Middle of the movie me, James Franco. Everyone's kind of doing like a middle, beginning, and after thing. Future me, Andy Garcia.
I didn't picture him as an Andy Garcia.
I think it's maybe just the acting skills, or maybe just because I'm looking at it like this too. I'm looking at it like this too. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking initially of looks. I'm like,
yeah,
not at all.
That sounds like. He's
but
far
maybe
off
yeah,
that one, but
maybe like
the mannerisms.
Young kid from Modern Family was a lot more like Cam, like maybe kind of adventurous, kind of nerdy, whatever. And then as Cam got older, thought he was pretty cool, so he thought he was James Franco. By the way, he'll be at the party. Not James Franco, Cam. He's gonna be DJ. He's gonna be DJ.
Yes, I get to see his skulls.
His skulls. Oh, we're gonna be listening to like Prince and Drake, mostly.
I can rock with Prince, but Unless you're giving the early Drake.
It's Drake that you didn't realize was Drake.
The early Drake.
It's newer Drake that sounds like 70s Drake. Duh, I'm telling you. We're going to play it after this.
We're not.
Sean Penn for Johnny Glover.
Oh, Sean Penn.
Nate Neely says, I'm going to play him. Jim Richardson says Idris Elba. That's hilarious.
He's fine, too.
V-Tran's, I think he's Vietnamese. He said Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
See, it's just kind of funny to see, like, Asian dudes and white dudes picking black people. It's kind of funny.
It's like, y'all want to be black so bad.
Steve Mena's an Italian dude, so he picked De Niro. So I'm like, you know what?
I like De Niro. Though.
I love De Niro.
He's a great actor.
Best De Niro movie, go.
What the heck is the name of that one?
The Score.
No, not that one. No, I like that one.
That was the
too.
answer.
But no, not that one. How you gonna say that was the answer?
That was the answer. That was the best De Niro movie.
No, he had it. No.
Goodfellas.
It wasn't just.
Goodfellas, Heat, the one with the 2 discs with him and Joe Pesci.
Yes.
The Casino. Oh yeah, Casino.
It was called Casino?
Yeah.
That one was good.
Well, they had to like do like the double talk kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he played in a lot of great movies.
He really did. He was a great actor.
I wonder his like.
I need to have a De Niro day, don't I?
His like, what do they call it? Not profile. Their profile. When they're like
his IMDb.
Yeah, like I wonder how many movies he.
I'd probably say close to 100.
Him and like Richard Gere, like random.
I would say him and Pacino are probably up there. Probably over 70 each. That's my guess.
Robert De Niro likes black women too, so.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah. I know. That's fine.
That's what I just.
I'll stay away from our women. Let me see if there's another good one. Jeff, he said Denzel Washington or Wesley Snipes. See, it's like I love these. Mona, she said Queen Latifah. I can actually see that. Queen Latifah is much taller than Mona, but I can still see it. John Igarashi said Bradley Cooper, Bryan Cranston, or Daniel Day-Lewis. They all have the ability. Tyrone's wife said Tracy Ellis Ross. Like, you know, it's funny if you can kind of tell. Like, these are legit. That's Tyrone's wife. Doesn't she kind of look like Tracy Ellis Ross? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think it's hilarious. Kim Pelton. I know it's hard to see her through her profile picture here. That's actually her right there in the middle. Mm-hmm. She picked her. I don't know who this lady is, but I totally see it, like face-wise. Yeah. I could kind of see it. I just don't know who the hell it is. Kevin picked Ice Cube. Uh-huh. Carrie Ann.
I would date him.
Kevin or Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
Kevin's married. So is Ice Cube.
Not Kevin. I'm talking about Ice Cube.
Carrie Ann
Kevin. Sorry, I don't
picked Cameron Manheim. Now, if you don't know me, Cameron Manheim was my favorite actress from The Practice 20 years ago.
I didn't really like that show. I don't even really like that show.
That show was amazing. She was.
I remember that show. I
used to call her that all the time. That's why I hit love on the thing. Mm. Anyway, that's enough of that shit.
You never said who you would have play you.
I would have young me, probably young version of Everybody Hates Chris. So when he was younger. Middle me, probably when I was still svelte, Taye Diggs. And then...
He's fine.
I was.
I was. I love it. Yes, confidence. I love it.
I literally was. I was very good looking back in the day, and I'm not anymore. So now would be... No, it's not a self-esteem thing. It's a truth thing.
Wow.
I know I'm not attractive to some people. Mostly men. But the other one, old me. That's a good question.
I don't know about old me, but...
I guess I'd pick 40 plus me would probably be Junkyard Dog. The wrestler. Because he got fat.
I cannot. I think young me, I would have Kyla Pratt.
I don't know who that is. Go ahead.
What? Love and Basketball? Kyla Pratt?
I don't watch all the Negro movies that you do.
Love and Basketball is a classic with Sanaa Lathan and Omar Epps. Come on. Remove it. Remove it right out of his wallet. Remove it. That's sad.
You seen Halloween?
Yes, I did. Oh. Now,
my favorite movie.
I would have Kyla Pratt as young me. I don't have a middle age individual, but
you're not there yet.
You're
still young. You.
I'm talking about middle as far as like teens. I thought you were talking. I don't know. Straight to teens for some reason.
I'm looking like Like my young Everybody Hates Chris person, elementary through junior high, early teens, like 13, 14, 15.
Oh, I would do Kyla Pratt, and then I would do Regina Hall.
Okay.
Because everybody said I act like her anyway.
And then
I love her though.
So she would be like 15, 16 up until maybe 25. No? 30? How's she look now? Is it just her acting skills or how she look? I know the name, I just can't think of it. Who's that messaging you? What's her name?
I don't know. I think it's Becky's cousin. It's in like random stuff.
Oh.
It's a girl.
Hola,
From the wedding.
Hola, bueno.
I think she accidentally texts me. Like, I mean, not text. You know.
Oh, she's cute.
You know, Regina Hall.
Looks nothing like you. I'm not trying to diss. I'm just saying she looks nothing
No,
like
I don't want her to look like me.
Oh, okay.
It's just like everybody says I act like her. Or
Well, was that her?
that was young her.
Oh, wow.
She's 5'4". Regina Hall, the one who played Scary Movie.
Oh, girl, what you watching? Shakespeare in Love?
When the Bow Break, Girls Trip, Think Like a Man, About Last Night, Barbershop, The Best Man Holiday.
Girl, what you watching? Shakespeare in Love? I'm sure she was funny.
She's so silly.
She got stabbed in the ear.
I loved her.
That was funny.
I
All right.
love her. She's very loved. I love her.
Yeah, I love her too. All right.
Should've known that.
All right, we got 2 topics to do, and it's been an hour and a half.
We're tired.
We'll save these for next week. How about that?
Ew.
Because I'm tired, and no one's watching.
Can I see that? Oh, I'm glad you could.
No, I'm tired. All right, everybody. We appreciate y'all being with us on the KDA from LC podcast. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, restaurants called Loaded Cafe, and I'm also at your mama house.
No, we gotta play our outgoing song.
Oh, here we go.
No.
Oh. You don't know what I was going to play. Remember, you got the intro.
I had the intro, you're right.
I got the outro.
But if your computer want to take long to load, let me know.
Shut.
Yo, chow. I'm uptown right now. I'm on my way to the West Bank to put a twist on this thing, you heard?
This is my favorite song. If you ever want to impress me, play this song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's when the whole twerking happened.
Yes. Yes. Make it clap. Yes. Those look good. I miss the 90s.
She said twerk. He said twerk. I'm telling you, you've been around for so long. This video was so old.
It is. That's BG right there. He looks different than I thought he would. He looks way different than I thought he would. I had to talk through this that way it could still post. If I don't talk through it, it won't post. Chop, chop, chop style. Chop style, chop, chop, chop style. See you next week. Chop, chop, chop style.